What's up, everybody? It's Meredith Strickwisfeld Training and
Coach Sam.
Super excited because we have some nut bars that we are making today. So go through all these ingredients. There's not that many, which is awesome. And then we're gonna get to it. All right, so here we go. The best part about eating a bar is that it is fast. It's easy, you can do it in the morning, you don't have to make breakfast, and then all of a sudden you have this packed breakfast of something that is not, you don't have to cook it, right? You don't have to cook eggs and bacon and all these things. You can just have this delicious nut bar. So what do we have here?
Perfect.
Sam.
So we have a mixture of nuts. So it's about 3/4 of a cup of nuts. We have pistachios, we have
Almonds,
walnuts. Depending upon how you enjoy your nuts, some people don't like certain nuts. Feel free to mix them however you like. You could always use cashews or pecans or whatever you might enjoy. We have cinnamon, coconut oil, and we have dates.
Dates are the thing that's gonna keep it all together. It's more of the binder. So when you see something like a protein bar that has a ton of ingredients in it, what dates are gonna do is actually hold it all together so you don't have to have all those processed ingredients. So that's gonna be the binder that really sticks all these nuts together, plus mixes the coconut oil and the cinnamon, of course, which is gonna lower blood sugar levels.
I'm gonna start the pan.
When we use this, because dates are sweet. They're sticky, they have a lot of natural sugars, but it's way better using something like dates than using just table sugar, something like that. So we've got the cup of dates, we've got the nuts, so there go in the nuts. So when you're roasting these, you want to pay attention and you want it to be on like a medium heat, because if you're not paying attention, they could burn. So we're gonna let those roast for a couple minutes and then we'll add the other ingredients. So the reason why we are letting those nuts roast first is because the dates are sticky and they're soft. So if we put them in there at the same time, the consistency and the toasting of that mixed nuts, it's not gonna be very good. So you let those go first and then we're gonna throw those in there, but it's gonna be super easy. Doesn't take long, but just don't take your eyes off the stove, because if you do, it's gonna burn. So every so often I'd move them around, make sure that, one is not burning the other, because when you get mixed nuts, they're chopped into different sizes. So I wanna make sure that you really do pay attention.
Yeah, and this is also probably for about 3 small bars. So if you double up or triple up, you could definitely keep them in the refrigerator and you can take them on the go throughout the day. So you don't have to worry about packing a snack or getting those shopping stores nut bars, which have all the extra ingredients that are not healthy for you.
So you can just use parchment paper and put them in the freezer too. You can put them in the freezer, put them in the fridge, just put them in an airtight container. So letting that go for just a little bit longer.
Smelling nutty.
Smelling nutty. Hopefully not smelling burnt nuts.
No, just smelling nice nuts.
Oh, geez. So are we almost ready to throw this stuff in?
About 1 more minute over here.
Okay, so the awesome thing about dates as well is that they're packed with antioxidants and they taste really good. So if you haven't had a date before, these are actually chopped up. So it's a cup of chopped dates. It's probably like 15 or 20 dates chopped up. So it really depends on, if you're getting them store-bought or chopped, just make sure they're not added with sugar. Sometimes when you get them, they can be, dusted with sugar or caramelized, something like that. You do not want that, especially with any kind of dried fruit, with raisins, with cranberries, with pineapple, with mango. Just get that's raw and not added with any sugar or anything like that.
And be careful when you're chopping dates. For those of you that don't know, dates have a pit in them. So you don't want to just go in chopping them, because you will hurt yourself cutting those up. All right, so we are almost ready for those dates.
Perfect.
You want to put those in there?
Yep. So we'll do the dates, and then what we're gonna add too is the coconut oil and the cinnamon. So a little bit of coconut oil, that's gonna help kind of let it get a little bit more moist in there. And then that's gonna be really fast once you put the coconut oil in. So it just melts right away. And when you're storing coconut oil, I always store it in the pantry, because if you store it in the refrigerator, it gets really, really hard and you're gonna end up going in the fridge and trying to just mine for coconut oil, which you don't wanna do. It's really easy, just put it in the pantry, then you can scoop it out whenever you need it, and it'll last a long time. I can smell it, it smells really good.
And it kind of gives that nice sugar liquefying for the dates.
Kind of smells like the holidays, I don't know.
It does smell, The holidays have a lot of nuts and berries and things like that, so I can definitely see that.
Really good.
And that's
I think
like
it's a cinnamon too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's the cinnamon. Everything around the holidays has cinnamon in it,
Like
especially
cinnamon
in the
apples.
winter.
Ooh, smells good.
Ooh, it's getting nice and sticky over here.
So once we do that, it's the dates will kind of melt a little bit, and then we're gonna put it in parchment paper and let it cool for about 20 minutes. You can also throw it in the freezer for like 10 to 12 minutes and it'll kind of speed that up. I just prefer to put it in the fridge for that amount of time so that it's not gonna get too cold in certain spots because it will clump up.
And you wanna make sure that you're consistently stirring the dates because the dates tend to get like very sticky and clumped, so it defeats the purpose of you chopping it. So you kind of just mix that up in there, get it all nice and good. And you don't wanna overdo it because nuts tend to burn very fast. So, as you see, we had a little smoke. We're gonna put it in our little container so that it can cool down.
Smoking hot over there.
Smoking hot.
Smells really good.
Turn this pan off.
See
Stove
what
off.
see what we got going over there.
And then got a nice mixture right here. And then we're gonna put that in the fridge and let it cool down so that we can put it in the shape of the bar. You're gonna mold it into a large bar and then chop it into smaller pieces.
Super easy.
Super easy. So let's put that in the fridge for about 20 minutes and we'll be
Good
back.
to go. All right.
Perfect. So it's been about 20 minutes.
Nice and
you can
cool.
See it, whoop, you can
Move
see
this
it's
out
got
of the
a nice little stickiness to it from the dates. So you can just mold it.
Go over
Switch
here.
over side. You're gonna mold it with the parchment paper into the shape that you want, whether it's a square or if you want it into a rectangle. Push down on it so that you can give it a nice firm shape. And you'll see, depending upon how thick you want it, it's how compact you push it down.
It's actually a really fun recipe to do with your kids too, because it's easy and there's not a lot of mess. So I know Sage loves to do like cookies and cupcakes, so this is a really easy recipe for me to do with her and also incorporate Cruz because there's not a lot of stuff that you can get everywhere. Like cookie batter gets everywhere. It is just,
so messy.
and then they just end up eating all of the batter and then you don't make any cookies. So
At least it's a healthy alternative too, so if they
Exactly.
do snack. So you have a nice little bar right here, tiny, small, because we're just making about 3 little bars. And then we're gonna pop it into the freezer. You could do freezer for 30 minutes or you could do refrigerator for at least minimum of 2 hours because you do want it to get a nice firm hold. So when you do chop it, you get a nice tight nut bar.
yeah, and it's not gonna fall apart on you. So we're gonna pop that into the freezer, let that chill out for a little bit, and then we're gonna grab it and cut it up. All right, it's been a little while, so let's grab it out of the freezer and see if we can cut it up and make sure it's not gonna fall apart.
Let's hope
It
not.
might.
If you leave it overnight.
Might. What's gonna happen is it might fall apart, but it still tastes the same, I promise you.
So we got that nice bar.
All right.
Kind of solid. We lost a nut there. All right, so we're just gonna chop this up.
And you can also cut it in the parchment paper too, and it'll keep it in that like one little section. And you can keep them in the parchment paper, but obviously we're showing everybody what these look like, but
Squeeze them, that leftover nuts back into that bar.
I mean, it looks like you could buy these at the store. I mean, that's how easy these are, and they can be homemade and simple and delicious and taste really, really good. So this is one of my favorite recipes because it's so good for you because it incorporates a coconut oil and all the nuts and also the dates as a natural binder. So if you like this recipe and all the other super simple, easy, delicious recipes that we do, make sure you check out all these other videos and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.